This is Pokémon Infinite Fusion, a game where any Pokémon can be fused and you never quite know what to expect. I have tried many times to beat this game, but never have. Is this the run? As with any randomizer Nuzlocke, there are rules to follow. Number 1, you can only catch one Pokémon per area. Number 2, if it faints, it's dead. Number 3, no healing or items in battle. Number 4, all Pokémon must be fused. And number 5, if I completely run out of Pokémon, the run is over. Do you think I can do it? Let me know in the comments below. After waking up and going downstairs and being told that we have to go back upstairs to change out of our pajamas, we finally got our stuff on ready to go and we headed downstairs. We received a letter from the Pokemon League that our mother read to us. She also told me about our neighbor next door who I named Not Cool. Just like it's not cool being unsubscribed. After running into Not Cool right outside our house, who was bragging about how he's getting a Pokemon from his grandpa, we decided to join him in the lab. After getting tired of waiting in the lab, I decided to head out to Route 1 where I bumped into Professor Oak, who brought me back to his lab and let us pick out our starters. There was Yanmega, Poliwag, or Heracross. Being torn between all three, I'm not really a bug guy, but Poliwag isn't one of my favorite Pokemon, so I decided to go with Yanmega. After a quick battle against Not Cool where his Herowag got beat up, I went out to get the parcel for Professor Oak up in Viridian City. After returning to Professor Oak, he decided to give me 5 Pokeballs and, of course, our Pokedex for the challenge. And with that, our Nuzlocke was officially underway. Of course, the first Pokemon we run into is a Cyndaquil, easily catching it so we have something to fuse Yancey with, and naming it Callie, I decided it was time to get our first fusion underway, fusing Yanmega and Cyndaquil. After stopping up in the Viridian City Market, I talked to a postal man who gave me a love disc as a reward for something. Then it was over to the next route to grab our Pokemon to fuse it with, giving us a powerful electric Pokemon to add with our water type. After going farther down the route, we're challenged by Not Cool to a Pokemon battle where we easily take him to town with our 2 Pokemon. Of course, after beating him, I checked out the secret grotto and grabbed the Pokemon egg there. I know it's going to turn into a Rockruff, but I still like having it because it's a guaranteed encounter. Heading up onto Route 2, we came across a Goomy who made an excellent addition to our team. Adding the Dragon type is awesome, especially early on when we can get Dragon Rage. After naming the Goomy Gary, we headed up into Viridian Forest where our next encounter was a Chinchou, who we decided to name Carl. After fusing them together, we got a monstrous blob of a Pokemon. Next up for us was Pewter City and Brock, who was a poison type gym leader this time. Brock was actually pretty easy overall. His Cactuar went down really quick to Yancey, earning us our Boulder Badge. After failing on Route 3 to catch a hidden ability Grottle, I decided to take out my anger on a bunch of the nerds on the route. I talked to Nurse Joy, who was in need of assistance, and she called in Brock, who helped take care of the Geodude, allowing her to get back to the Pokemon Center. After getting into the Pokemon Center, I decided to buy the Magikarp, which turned out to be a Talonflame. Right away in Mount Moon, I got my encounter, which was a Rapidash. That didn't give us many problems at all, and I named it Reginald. A very regal name for a very regal horse, who I chose to fuse right away with our Talonflame. After overhearing the plans of Team Rocket about their nefarious deeds down in Mount Moon, I ran back to Brock to fill him in on everything that had been happening. But on the way back, I had to evolve Yancey. Brock informed me that this was Team Rocket, something I already know because I've played so many Pokemon games, but it's still nice to get a refresher. To help me get through the boulders, Brock gave me Rock Smash. On our way back into the cave, our egg hatched into our Rockruff, who we named Reno. With Yancey learning Sonic Boom, we made quick work of all Team Rocket grunts and Super Nerd Miguel, which sent Team Rocket and Giovanni running. To show his gratitude, he decided to share his fossils that he had found. But before I could even get to them, we ended up having our first death of the run. After grieving, I decided to take the Dome Fossil from Miguel and head over to Route 4, where I encountered a Kabuto. I added Kabuto to the party and right away decided to fuse it with Rockruff. After training up, I decided to take on Nugget Bridge before going to Misty when I ran into Not Cool. He started bragging about how he had caught such strong and smart Pokemon, but I quickly burned them all with my Firebug. They were not strong or smart Pokemon. I beat them all. After the confidence of beating Not Cool, I decided to go take on Misty and her Bug-type gym. I made quick work of them with my Fire and Rock team and earned the Cascade Badge. Heading down to Route 5, I caught a Scraggy, who I truthfully didn't have any plans of keeping, so I named him Sorry. Because I really wanted to try the Wonder Trade, I'm not particularly a big fan of Scraggy. I don't like the evolution line, and I believe there are just better fighting type Pokemon. So I decided to trade it away, and I got Leaf back, which turned out to be a Magikarp Golett. Right away evolving it to get rid of the Magikarp into a Gyarados, I went up to take on the rest of Nugget Bridge, knocking out all 5 trainers and getting to the end when I received my Nugget, and I got offered to join Team Rocket. I wasn't really feeling like joining Team Rocket this time, as I'd already done that in previous playthroughs, and I wanted a more normal run. Of course, this led to the Team Rocket grunt deciding to fight me, which ended poorly for him. After this, I decided to grab our Pokemon for Route 24, which was actually a Weavile. After naming her Wendy, I went up to Route 25 and I came face to face with one of the hardest challenges in any Nuzlocke. Dragon-type Pokemon with Dragon Rage. I know that a Dragon-type Pokemon early on is one of the biggest advantages you can have in a Nuzlocke. So I was willing to play the game of sacrifice a couple Pokemon to gain a Dragon-type. Unfortunately, Wendy couldn't get the job done and catch Axew, and neither could Reno. So sadly, I had to leave the Axew behind and just head towards Bill's house on the Cape. After walking in on his weird experiments and helping him become human again, he rewarded me with the SS ticket and sent me on my way to the SS Anne in Vermilion City. Before reaching Vermilion City, I grabbed my encounter on Route 6, a Mantike, which was really easy to catch because it's a baby. When I got to Vermilion City, I grabbed the old rod and landed a Pokemon right away, not wasting any time to see what I could fuse it with, and I got a Spiritomb. After catching the Spiritomb and fusing it together with my Mantike to get a spooky dude, and listening to the old boring story from the leader of the fan club to get my bike voucher, then it was off to Route 11 to catch my next Pokemon. Unfortunately, Gary was a casualty because I could not escape, and we lost our 4th Pokemon. To mourn this, I went into Diglett Cave looking for a replacement, and I found a Swirlix. Not the best replacement, but it could come in handy being a fairy type. After clearing out the SS Anne and beating Miguel again to claim the claw fossil, Spooky Dude evolved. After finding the captain's key at the back of the ship, I ran all the way up to the captain's quarters, and who do I run into but Not Cool? After making quick work of Not Cool's team, I talked to the captain, rubbed his back, and I got the HM cut. I'll be honest, it's a little weird exchange. Even back when I was a kid, I thought it was, to rub an old man's back and he gives me a move, a secret move to teach Pokemon? I don't know. Seems weird. I didn't waste any time going to challenge Lieutenant Surge. His ghost-type Pokemon I felt were an easy match for me. I was incredibly wrong. He ransacked my team and left me in shambles. Now, normally in a Nuzlocke, that would be the end. But like I stated before, I'm going until I completely run out of Pokemon. And I still have 2 left, so I had to go back in and try. Yancey was able to take out one of them, but his Maglure was unstoppable, leaving me only Reginald to finish out Maglure and his 3rd Pokemon. Reginald couldn't quite make it happen, and that's where our attempt number 1 ends. It was heartbreaking. I thought we were really making progress, and to end that way, it was just really a bummer. Jumping right back in, I had a Machoke, a Croconaw, and a Lickitung. I always loved Totodile as a starter, so of course I'm going to take Croconaw. After taking Croconaw and watching my rival fuse a Lickitung and a Machoke into an Abomination and beating it, I went to get the parcel. I got the Pokeballs, I encountered our first Pokemon, which was an Octillery. After catching it and fusing it together with our Gator Boy into a horrific Eldritch Nightmare, we got our Love Disc again and decided to name it Disco, and we found a Sentret to fuse it with right away. After making quick work of our rival over on Route 22, we went to the grotto again, and this time instead of taking the Pokemon Egg, I wanted to try something different. And thankfully I did, because we found a Tyranitar. After catching it and naming it Tina, I was so excited and I couldn't wait to see what we would fuse it with. Unfortunately, on Route 2, we KO'd a Venusaur, and we KO'd a Minior in the Viridian Forest. So we're gonna have to wait to fuse Tyranitar until after we beat Brock. Beating Brock was super easy thanks to Octillery, Psybeam, and we earned our first badge again. On Route 3, heading towards Mount Moon, we caught our next Pokemon, a Psyplume, naming it Helly. In Mount Moon, we lost a Kakuna, but we bought a Marowak from the fisherman with the Magikarp. After fusing the Tyranitar and Marowak together, we ended up with a powerful Pokemon that was gonna help us all the way through this challenge, including Miguel. On our way out of Mount Moon, Susie evolved into their final form. We lost our encounter in Route 4, so I decided to go right to Nugget Bridge to challenge our rival. Making quick work of him once again, I went right to the gym. We made quick work of the Steel Gym thanks to Tina and earned our second badge. On Route 5, we had a chance at catching Zekrom. I love Zekrom, and if I had any chance to get him on my team, I was absolutely going to. After losing Susie, I decided it wasn't worth the risk. I made the mistake in the first attempt of trying to get a Dragon type, but if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. After accidentally joining Team Rocket, I went on to grab my Pokemon for Route 24, which turned out to be a Piloswine. After stopping up to say hi to Bill, I ran back and I encountered a Mudkip. Wasting zero time, I decided to fuse Mudkip and Piloswine together. After being roared away by a Tyrantrum and losing that encounter in Vermilion City, we caught a Bulbasaur in Diglett Tunnel. And then over on Route 11, we caught a Flygon. After a quick pit stop to fuse them together, our team was ready to go on the SS Anne. We ran into Miguel again, beat Miguel, grabbed the Claw Fossil. We were riding really high, but then disaster struck. Ellie got stuck with Wrap and couldn't move and ended up fainting thanks to the Wrap damage. After beating our rival, we got the HM, stopped by to get our bike voucher, and watched Flynn evolve into his second evolution and Marty evolve into his. Then it was time to go face Lieutenant Surge again. We absolutely tore through Lieutenant Surge this time, thanks to Tina, earning our third gym badge and getting revenge for the last attempt. After running back to Pewter City and giving them one of our fossils, they gave us a Noibat. Then it was over to Route 9 to battle trainers and continue our way to Rock Tunnel. On the way there, we found a Tyrunt, and we absolutely grabbed him. Now we were able to fuse our Noibat and Tyrunt together into an adorable Nelly. We also managed to grab an already fused Chimchol and evolved it right before we went into Mount Moon. We found a Natu named Natty. After a quick sprint through Rock Tunnel, we ended up going right into the Pokemon Tower. Our rival decided to challenge us, putting Marty to sleep and causing him to get wrapped just like Helly and knocked out cold. Of course, Tina finished it off for us. We heard an old man getting kidnapped by Team Rocket and yelling about Silphco, but we couldn't go any higher, so we had to keep moving on. I got a Psyduck on the next route over, and then I also made sure to grab our next encounter, which turned out to be a Gourgeist. On our way into Celadon City, we fused our Psyduck and Natu together. Then in one of the buildings, we found an Eevee who needed to be walked, and of course I'm going to help the Eevee out. It's so adorable. After the Eevee turned out to be a Jangmo-O, I was even more excited. On our way to the gym, we came across our rival fighting Team Rocket. He proceeded to blame me for them getting away, and I ran into Erica down in the sewers. While running through the sewers, Flynn evolved into his final form. Erica and I came to 2 corridors, and we ended up having to split our ways. Gator Boy evolved into his final form, and so did Natty, evolving not once, but twice, back to back. After coming out of my tunnel, I saw Erica get beat by Giovanni, who then decided to challenge me. And for being head of Team Rocket, can I just say, Giovanni had a really weak team this time. After talking to Erica, who told me I should challenge her at her gym, and grabbing the Silph Scope off the table, I decided to do just that. She told me she wasn't going to take it easy on me, and man, she was not kidding. After watching Nelly and Flynn go down, Gator Boy stepped up and ended the fight, earning us our 4th gym badge. To help make up for those fallen teammates, I decided it was time to fuse more Pokemon, fusing Jerry and Gretchen, and then catching a Trico as well to add to our roster. Inside a Pokemon Tower, we found our Sableye, who was more than happy to join the team. After beating the Ghost and obtaining the Pokeflute from Mr. Fuji, I decided to leave the Spooky Tower, but not before fusing Trico and Sableye together. I decided it was time for the Snorlax to wake up on Route 12, and he decided to attack, catching the Mismagius. Then we went on a catching spree all the way down to Fuchsia City, catching Meh the Metapod, catching a Glycopod named Gregor, and catching another starter, Chestnut, who we named Chester. I didn't waste any time starting to fuse all the Pokemon together, starting with Mismagius and Metapod, then Gregor and Chester. Before fighting Koga, I decided it was time for Jerry to evolve, as well as Leo, to help us have a little more firepower. Sully decided to follow suit, fully evolving into his final form. I decided when it came to the Safari Zone, that I could only get 3 encounters through the whole Safari Zone. The first one was a Scraggy. And I know what I said before about not wanting a Scraggy, but I figured at this point, and team composition wise, it wouldn't hurt to have another Dark and another Fighting type. We kept going deeper into the Safari Zone, finding the HM for Surf, and then catching our second encounter, a Beware. It was time for our 5th gym badge fight, and I had a really great feeling. Even though Jerry and Natty both went down, I still liked our chances, and Sully managed to pull out the win, earning us our 5th gym badge. To make up for the losses of our 2 team members, we grabbed Mark and then fused Betty and Sean together. We also ended up evolving Mark into his final form as well. After beating up the Team Rocket guard, stopping us from getting into Saffron City, I decided to catch an Altaria on the way in. After infiltrating Silphco and evolving Sean all the way up, we ran across a scientist who told us that the president was being held hostage by Giovanni in his office. To thank us for saving his colleagues, he gave us a Grand Bull that I was so excited to fuse together right away with our Altaria and turn into a dragon that's ready to throw hands. Before we could get to the office of the president, we ran into our rival once again. After beating up on the rival, we decided to join forces to take out Giovanni. After that, our partnership quickly ended due to our rival being a jerk. Talking to the president, he gave us a Parasect. We also found a Master Ball down in the laboratory that we were able to take. I quickly moved on to fight Sabrina for our 6th gym badge. I'll tell you how it went. Not good. Sean froze right away. We lost Gator Boy to a Miltank Abomination. We lost Mark. We lost Leo. And we lost Sean, completely losing 2/3 of our team. This absolutely sucked. Those were some heavy hitters that we just lost. And now I had to go out and try to find these routes and locations that I hadn't used yet to get more Pokemon. Going over by Cycling Road, I grabbed a Meganium, I found a Toxlass, I fused together our Meganium and our Parasect, ready to take on Sabrina for the 2nd time. Our 2nd time started off much better, as Tina ran through half of her team right away. But then, catastrophe struck. An Enroarus decimated our team, OHKOing Sully, OHKOing Marvin, taking out Gregor before he even had a chance to do anything, and of course taking out our beloved Tina. That Pokemon single-handedly destroyed us, and I was at my wit's end. Luckily, I still had 1 encounter left in the Safari Zone, and I stumbled across a Slachar. We went and found a Shinx, catching that as well. I didn't feel like this was enough for us, so I dug deep, and I realized, due to Team Rocket not being in Saffron City anymore, we were able to take the train to Goldenrod. and the Pokemon I found in Goldenrod was an absolute game changer, a Glyzdon. After using my Master Ball to catch it, our savior fully evolved and we were ready to take on the gym again. And we wasted zero time cutting through their team. The third time turned out to be the charm and we got our 6th gym badge from Sabrina. On our way to Cinnabar Island, we grabbed a Mantine and fused it together with our Shinx. Heading into the Pokemon Mansion, we found another Abomination, quickly evolving it to make it a little better. We stumbled all the way through the Pokemon Mansion fighting robbers until we found Blaine, who decided to head back and open his gym. Before the gym, we fully evolved Kafka and McQueen. We were ready to fight Blaine and get our 7th gym badge. It was an overall easy battle due to Plague causing a toxic field for us, and Ollie and Savior running through the rest of the team. After checking the PC and seeing that we had a glitch, we now had a Porygon in our box. I saw 2 Team Rocket members bullying a sailor over by the boathouse on Cinnabar Island and went to investigate. Team Rocket had ended up taking the Sea Gallop all the way to Mount Ember, and I had to follow them. On the way there, I captured a Shedinja, as well as a Kangaskhan. I was too late to stop them as Giovanni was telling his master plan to his grunts. He challenged me to one final fight for the fate of all 3 birds. I knew this battle was going to have casualties, and I was fully prepared to not walk away unscathed. Plague set up Toxic on one of the heads and fell quickly to an Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Thunderbolt combination. Savior was able to hit a Rock Slide affecting all 3, but he also met the same fate as Plague. McQueen also was able to get one shot off before he fainted. Glyzzodon was able to come in and take out the Articuno. Kafka came in a losing effort to help take out the Zapdos, and Ali was able to finish it off once and for all, ending the threat of the 3-headed monster. Moltres decided to let me catch it, even though it turned into a Dialga, which I was more than happy to add to the team. Fusing our Shedinja and Porygon together got us a very lovely normal ghost type, as well as fusing Diego and Kangaskhan together to form an unholy fusion. Surreal wasn't done evolving yet as we took the upgrade and fully evolved it into Porygon 2. On our way to catch Articuno, we ended up catching another Mamoswine. Unfortunately, the Articuno was not able to be caught. Right inside the power plant, we captured ourselves a Roselia and quickly fused them with our Mamoswine. Next up was Zapdos, who turned into a Genesect, which we happily caught and added to our team. To fuse with it, we found a Nidoran and evolved Roberta into their full form. We also decided to fuse Nidoran and Genesect together before we went on to take Giovanni down for the last time. Taking on Giovanni this time was going to be a breeze. He had a bug-type gym. I'd already beaten one. Come on, how hard could it be? It was incredibly hard. Ali went down, Glyzzodon got frozen and went down as well. We also lost Jean to a Galvanspars. Luckily, Diego was able to clutch up and win us our 8th gym badge. I'll be honest, at this point, I was beaten up pretty bad. I had 3 Pokemon, and I was hoping to maybe get 2 more before the league, but before I could get any of that, I had to fight the rival. We started off strong, taking out his Purion, but then he sent out Graverom. Roberta was no match, but was able to take it out thanks to Poison Point and recoil damage. Surreal went down to a Sucker Punch, as well as Diego, ending our run once and for all. We were so close to getting to the Elite Four and possibly winning the run. Let me know in the comments what other playthroughs you'd like to see, if I should do another Infinite run, or what you thought of this run. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.